Hey guys, it's Michaela, also known as Misfit Mick, and today I'm going to show you the system that you need for your recovery journey. Now, the interesting thing about this is that you already have a system that you fall back on, but it's something that makes you feel better when you partake in the behaviors that you don't want to be doing. So, for example, after you binge, after you overeat, after you emotionally eat, your system might be to isolate, to sleep more, to eat more, to over-exercise, to fall into restrictive patterns, and so on. So I'm going to show you the system that is going to build a foundation for stability so you're not caught in this loop that is making you feel crazy. Number one, consistent eating. And this is going two different ways. You're either not eating enough or you are consistently eating, but you're eating too much. Now, let's say that you are in the restrictive part of this. So biologically, if you are not fueling your body, you are going to think about food because you are wired to survive and your body recognizes that you need food. So this is where the food noise comes in and you feel like you are out of control. Another thing that happens with this is when you allow yourself to finally eat, right? You kind of mentally let go and allow yourself to fulfill a basic need, and very quickly that turns into overeating. And from there, it can very quickly turn into binging. And then we have a problem with that. And then we fall into the restrictive pattern because we feel like we have to make up for it. So when you consistently eat, your body is not playing this guessing game of when we're going to eat again. Now, let's say that we are on the side where we are eating too much, right? So we're like the overeating or the binging section of this. The hardest part about consistent eating when you are battling overeating and binging is getting over this idea that you need to eat less, because that will happen as you become more intentional with your consistent eating, which turns into mindful eating. Because the biggest thing that's happening or missing in this scenario is you haven't developed those connections with hunger and fullness cues. And that's your biggest thing, because the goal is to eat when you're hungry and stop when you're full. The second one under this is hydration. And this is super important because at the very beginning, you're not really sure if you're hungry because you're actually hungry or hungry because you're thirsty. And you won't tell the difference until you actually start hydrating your body with a gallon a day, 3 liters a day, to start gaining that stability. Number 3 is movement. And this doesn't mean that you have to do anything super intense. The reason that this is important is because when you fall into the binging cycle, quite honestly, this will naturally just fall away. And that's because I think we use it as just evidence or proof that we are a lazy, fat piece of shit. Like, when you binge and you feel so disgusting about yourself, you don't necessarily want anybody to see you. You feel like you don't deserve to be seen. And then on top of that, you just lack every single motivation fiber in your body to go out and move. So if you can get movement in any way, that means walking, that means doing yoga in your house, that means doing Pilates in your house, that means swimming, gym. Just movement is so important. And that's also going to help you build stability in the nervous system, so we could step out of dysregulation, so the changes that we are trying to make in our life can actually stick instead of just go away after our motivation goes away. Number 4 is sleep. Now, quite honestly, I didn't realize how important this was when I started this whole entire thing. And that was because when I was in my binging cycle, I had days where I would literally stay up and eat till 3 a.m. in the morning and then wake up for work at 6. And my lack of sleep was driving all of my behaviors. So when you are running off of a lack of sleep, you just genuinely don't want to put any effort in things. And so this is where it was very easy to hit up drive-thrus. It was very easy to just choose the most convenient option for me. Also, emotionally, you don't make the best decisions, right? You're exhausted. You're easily irritable. Everything kind of pisses you off. You just want the day to end, and you want to feel good. This whole time that you're pushing yourself to go to work or go to school when you're exhausted, you're like, fuck, I don't want to be here. You start thinking about the things that make you feel good. And at this time, it's like, what makes you feel good? Food makes you feel good. Number 5 is goals. And this is super important because what I recognized when I was in the binging cycle is that typically everything fades away. Just how I was talking about earlier, it's like all of the motivation fibers in your body just leave. You have to have something that you can look forward to that is not body oriented and that is not I just want to stop binging. Because at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is focus our attention elsewhere also by doing all 6 of these things. So have goals. What do you want to do with work? Do you have any plans on making friends, on doing stuff that you want to do, investing in a hobby? Goals are super important because they give you something to look forward to. And quite honestly, it was very easy for me at the very beginning of my recovery journey to set a goal for the gym because I wasn't doing any movement. So I just wanted to get stronger. I wanted to be stronger. List of interventions. And this is super, super important because typically our system right now is when we get stressed out, food feels like the only option. Food feels like the only thing that makes us feel better. A list of interventions is basically a physical list of things that you can do when you have anxiety, when you feel food noise, when you feel an urge that will help calm or relax you or distract you. So some of the things on my list at the very beginning were breathing, writing, EFT tapping, singing, going for a walk, yoga, meditating, going for a drive. It was just different things that I could do but physically see to calm, distract, or ease my nervous system or just my state of being at that time. So if I felt super amped up, it was something that made me feel a lot better. Now, one thing that I super duper want you to know is that you should be practicing all of these things. If you want to build stability, if you want to build that foundation that lifts you up in your recovery journey, supports your recovery journey rather than just pushing you down into the spiral. But it's not easy to get all 6 of these things at the very beginning. And as a matter of fact, you're gonna mess up. You are gonna hit maybe a few of these one day or one of them one day and not hit all 6, and then one day hit all 6. It's just about being consistent and aiming for these guys. Remember that it's not about perfection, it is about consistency, and eventually you'll get it. And I want you to just recognize that one of these things will help you improve your life. If you could stick to one of these things, implement one of these things, you'll start recognizing the difference. And if you found this helpful at all, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more content like this. And let me know what you think in the comments. Remember, recovery is possible, but it's not if you quit.